Have you ever wondered if wealth is something you can actually build by design instead of just stumbling into it? Well, today we're going to break down the core principles from the 7G wealth formula, which is basically a powerful blueprint for creating wealth that lasts for generations.
Okay, let's just jump right into the core idea here. This quote, it flips the script on how we think about wealth. It's not about luck. It's not even just about working hard. It's about intentional architecture. The whole idea is that real, lasting prosperity doesn't happen by accident. It happens because you build a clear, repeatable design.
So what does a design actually look like? Well, it's a huge shift in thinking, from just chasing a bigger salary to building a system. On the left, you've got the old way. You trade your time for money. The problem? You'll always run out of time. But on the right, that's the new model. You focus on creating value with systems that can scale. Systems where your money and your assets start working for you 24/7.
And that brings us to the first big idea. Wealth isn't just a pile of cash. It's a living, breathing system. You could think of it like an ecosystem of habits, assets, and knowledge that just keeps producing value on its own.
And when we say generational wealth, this is exactly what we're talking about. It's not just about what you can earn in your lifetime. The real goal is to create a system that's transferable. The focus shifts from just hoarding money for yourself to creating a sustainable engine for growth that your kids and their kids can build upon. Now, to make that happen, each generation has 3 really critical jobs to do, and they form this continuous loop. First, you have to acquire, build up your assets, your skills, your networks. Then, and this is crucial, you have to preserve it, protect everything from falling apart. And finally, you multiply it. If you drop the ball on any one of these, the whole system starts to break down.
All right, let's get into the first 3 levers of the formula. These are all about building your personal capacity for wealth. Think of this as constructing your own internal engine before you even think about building the car. The first lever, and you could argue it's the most important one, is mindset. And no, this isn't just about thinking positive. We're talking about very specific psychological shifts. It's about moving from just trying to get by, that's survival thinking, to playing the long game with strategic thinking. It's about shifting your identity from someone who spends money to someone who owns the things that make money.
Lever number 2 is all about skills. You know, in today's economy, your skills are the real currency. The key is to stop focusing on low-value skills that anyone can do, and instead develop high-value ones. And here's the real magic: skill stacking. For example, being a good writer is valuable, sure. But being a good writer who also understands digital marketing and video production, now that combination is rare, and it's exponentially more valuable because you can solve much bigger problems for people.
The third lever is your network, or what we call social capital. And this isn't just about having a ton of contacts. It's about strategically building 3 different kinds of relationships. You need your bonding capital, that's your inner circle, for support. You need bridging capital, your wider network that exposes you to new ideas. And then you need linking capital. These are the mentors and influencers who can open doors you didn't even know existed. Okay, so once that internal engine of yours is firing on all cylinders, it's time to activate your external wealth engines. These are the levers that start generating wealth much more automatically. And that brings us to lever number 4, digital assets. In our world today, your online presence is a legitimate financial asset. The trick is knowing how to monetize it. As you can see here, there are some really concrete strategies, from affiliate marketing to selling your own digital products like courses, that can turn your influence and your knowledge into scalable income streams. So, this all leads to the really big question for lever 5, right? How do you actually stop trading your time for money and make this whole wealth creation thing automatic? The answer is systems. The absolute key here is creating repeatable processes. You might have heard them called SOPs, or standard operating procedures. When you document how things get done, automate workflows, and delegate tasks, you start building income engines that can run and grow without you having to be there every single second. Next up, lever 6 is investments. Okay, so once your systems are generating income, you have to put that money to work. And the main principle here, as you can see from this portfolio, is diversification. By spreading your capital across different things, stocks, real estate, maybe even some digital assets, you're not just betting on one horse to win. You're building a resilient portfolio that can handle the ups and downs of the market and deliver steady growth over the long haul. And finally, we've arrived at the 7th and final lever. This is the one that gives a real purpose to everything else. It's all about making sure the wealth you've built actually lasts.
This statement right here is the absolute truth of generational wealth.
If you don't have a deliberate plan for what comes next, even the biggest fortunes can vanish in just a generation or two. See, building wealth is one thing, but making it last, that's the real game.
So the legacy lever is really built on these 4 pillars. You need solid legal structures like wills and trusts, you need a system for how the family makes decisions together, and maybe most importantly, you need to pass on financial wisdom, not just the money. It's all about teaching the next generation how to be good stewards of that prosperity.
So, there you have it. From your own mindset all the way to a lasting legacy, that's the 7G framework. It's a complete system for designing wealth that can grow on its own and last for generations. So the real question is, now that you have the blueprint, what are you going to build?